ho, ho. Merry Christmas from the Bowhunterplanet Studios. I am Dave Thomas, along with Kevin Conlon and Tim Mazzarana. Welcome to the last edition of Season 6 of the Bowhunterplanet podcast, live from our studio here in Detroit, Michigan. We just want to do a quick recap of the year, talk about some of the cool stuff that we experienced on the podcast and hunting, and some of the gear that we got a chance to play with. So welcome to the show. And this shouldn't be too long today, but, just wanted to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And for those of you who are part of the Team BHP program, the TikTok Live program, or Instagram Live, there are giveaways coming up for you. So make sure you're paying attention to our social media to understand how to win and enter for those. So, hey guys, how's it going?
Good, man. I just wanted to open it up for a second and just say thank you. Thank you to you guys. We work so well together, and we just have a great time doing what we do with this podcast. And it's great working with guys that love it, have a passion for it like I do. But better than that, I wanted to say thank you to all of our listeners. You guys have made this year the best year that we've ever had, and not just from a number standpoint. The numbers are always great. We like seeing the numbers. We had some decisions to go exclusive on Carbon TV for the video podcast this year. And those that have supported us by watching on Carbon TV, it's been an amazing experience, and we're going to keep that going because it has worked for us. So thank you for all of that. But it's not just the views. It's your comments, it's your questions, it's everything that you guys do for us to keep engaged. We love engaging with our viewers, and you guys are great on doing that. And we just want to thank you all for your support this year. It's been an amazing year for us.
I just want to say it's nice to be back together in the studio for the holidays.
I'm sure the audio quality is better too, since we all on the same mic signal.
Yeah.
It's very rare.
I'll tell you what, it is different though, looking across the table.
Yeah. This is we haven't been doing much of this in the studio, but I think with this coming year,
I'd like to, it'd be fun to get back in. But I do want to say I agree with everything Tim said about, you guys supporting us. So we appreciate that. And I do want to say that we do have a big announcement for the season 7, and that is that Sig Sauer will be a major supporter of the podcast in 2023. So we want to take a moment to thank you guys for helping us achieve that. Sig Sauer has come in and recognized Bowhunterplanet podcast as a very important aspect of the outdoor heritage and talking. And we firmly believe in protecting ourselves in the field and outside the field, which is one of the reasons we accepted this sponsorship in 2023. So very excited about that. I'm really excited to work with Sig and help bring safety and all that to bow hunters, gun hunters, and home defense. I think it's very important.
Absolutely. And Sig Sauer is a powerhouse in the industry, right? I mean, they have been around for a very long time. They do it all. And to have a company like that recognize the viewers that are watching and the ability for us to really bring their message to you guys, but it's not really a different message, right? The message is the same. We're all outdoors people. We love being outdoors. The crossover between gun and bow and gun and gun and bow, we all do it. I gun hunt and bow hunt. There are seasons in every state for each. And why not bring the two of us together to better the industry and hopefully bring some new people into the industry?
Absolutely.
Yeah, not only do I bow hunt, but a lot of times when I'm bow hunting, especially if I'm bear hunting, and I have my CPL and I have my carry with me just in case.
Well, that's a great point, Kevin. And I guess maybe that leads into one of my favorite stories from hunting this year.
Nice.
Because I didn't do that. And I was, it was my fault. I don't know why. It's early morning. I'm not an early morning hunting guy. I've said that many times. The morning hunts I love sitting out in the morning, but I hate waking up. And so I was out hunting one day this year, and sure shoot, man, there was this big old bear that walked out. I'm sitting on the ground, right? So I hunt a ground blind usually. In this property, it's a pop-out ground blind. So fabric and hubs, right? So I'm sitting there, and 40 yards right in front of me, this big old bear walks out, and he comes right from my right to my left, directly in front of me. And I'm watching him. I'm like, oh, this is a little cool. Your heart starts to race a little bit. And then he turns towards me. And he turns. And
is he licking his chops?
He put his nose up in the air, right? So he put his nose up in the air and smelled. And he turned, and he just starts not beelining or anything like that, but it was a straight line from him to me at this point. He's directly in front of me and he's coming in, got to right around 25, 30 yards and stayed there for a second. And I'm like, okay. So you start thinking, you know, what's my next move? And unfortunately, I forgot to carry my piece that morning, right? So my next move was to scream like a little girl. So yeah, it just goes to show you, but he actually, you know, he put his nose up in the air, smelled, and then ended up walking out the other direction. But it just goes to show you, you know, there's a purpose for having the weapon.
I mean, let's face it,
carry,
that's 99% of the time that's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
100%.
But you never know when you're going to get. You never know when you get that one crazy bear who says, "Hey, you're in my area."
No doubt.
I want you out of here or whatever.
Think about the amount of time. I just want to say one thing real quick, Dave. Just think about the amount of time you're in the field too. It's not just the hunting; it's the hiking, it's the biking, it's all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's every aspect of being outdoors. So,
but I just saw a video of a little girl trying to get in her house. A rabid raccoon was like on her leg trying to bite her. The mom comes out, grabs her by the neck. It's grabbing her arm. I'm thinking, you don't know when anything's going to come after you. It could be a person. It could be an animal. It could be a coyote that's, you know, and with like CWD issues and things, like you just don't know what's going to happen. A deer could come after you. I mean, honestly, you don't know. So I don't know. I always feel like I'd rather be safe than sorry. Like, so for me, when I go bow hunting, I always carry my, you know, my, concealed weapon permit. I always take advantage of that because I figured, well, what the heck? The point, why have it if I'm not going to carry it? You know what I mean? And plus, you just don't know. The odds are slim, yes, but I'd rather be protected. Well, I'd rather feel protection to and from my location and in and out.
100%. Right? We're blessed enough to live in America where we're afforded that freedom.
Yeah, you know, and the other thing, let's face it, there's a lot of Bowhunterplanet fans out there who aren't in Michigan. I mean, if you're out in Montana, Alaska, or California, or somewhere where there's grizzly bears and mountain lions, and you know, we do have in the UP wolves, you know, they're protected.
Yeah.
But if they're attacking you, you know,
absolutely.
Which again, I understand it rarely happens, but there's not too many rabid raccoons that attack your kid either. Yeah, it happens, you know.
Well, I think I can think of other stories too, in which I wish I had something on me. Out in the field.
Not even in the field, anywhere. It could be anywhere. It could be driving downtown. It could be whatever, you know. I'm just saying, you don't know.
I think I know your scariest hunting moment, but I wanted to know.
I couldn't carry a gun with me anyway.
That's true.
In Canada,
that's true.
That's true. Now in Canada, their rights have been taken away even more. So they're losing their hunting guns there.
Yeah.
So I never want to be like Canada.
So I told you about the one that happened this year. I'll tell you about the second one that happened, and it was on a hog hunt. I had a hog hunt where we were doing some filming, shooting some hogs, and I had a hog about, I think it was 30 yards away, lined it up, took the shot, and that hog turned right at me.
Rushed.
And it beelined it right at me. And I was there?
Yeah. I think I remember that.
Yeah, you were standing behind me. You were standing behind me.
And I'm over.
I'm standing there and so I'm shooting a crossbow, right? So I'm shooting a crossbow. There's no reloading. There's no doing anything. You're just, I think I closed my eyes for a second, open back up. He's like he's like you to me. And then all of a sudden he turns and goes left, but there's nothing I could have done. Nothing I could have done.
No, but
yeah, it was.
I bet you wish you had an Excalibur twin strike.
Oh, well, you know what?
That would have been the time. You're absolutely right. No one talks about that. I also want to just take a moment. I want to thank the rest of the sponsors from 2022. I want to say thank you for everybody who supported our show for this past year. And every year we have some that stay, some that go, some that come back. I mean, it's just business in general. Some companies just don't have the funds like they did the year before. It's just how it happens. So I do want to say thank you to all of them who did a great job supporting us. Tinks, Cobra, Victory, Mojack, Burris, Under Armour, Deer Camp Coffee, just a lot of great support, keeping us caffeinated, keeping us clothed. I mean, just different things, right? I mean, you don't think of all these little things, but it is important for what we're doing. It helps also justify to us we're doing the right thing and continuing to do the show and that people want to see it. So that's really important. I want to thank the Carbon TV team, Jules and all of them for their support with our show over this past year, choosing to go online with that. It was a big deal, and the views speak volumes of it was totally worth that move. We have enabled special editions to be on YouTube. So you guys are seeing some of that on YouTube. This will be a special edition, so everybody gets a chance to see it on and off Carbon. But the main show will be on Carbon, the main episodes. We just had Matt Pell on from AccuBow. It was a very great conversation. And Matt is great to talk to. In fact, we could have talked to him for like 3 or 4 hours, honestly. It was already well over an hour. I'm thinking,
I didn't realize how long we were talking to him. It was such a good conversation.
But Matt, he owns a couple companies, which we didn't know this, and we learned about it in the show. And actually, the reason I'm bringing it up right now is I have a present for Kevin. He doesn't realize, but Matt's sending us one of those feeders.
Awesome.
You can't use it anywhere else but the UP. So
yeah.
Kevin's gonna absolutely love this feeder. It actually, looks like a log, and you fill it up with 300 pounds of feed, and then the doors lift on certain times when you set it, and they close when you want. So the deer can only eat it at those certain times.
So you
can control the timing. So like Tim's like, well, I don't want to get up till 9 and walk out at 9:30, and they open at 10.
Oh wow.
We're gonna have to set that up.
Well, I just want to put the tactical trail cameras all over it. I want as soon as we get it, I'm having to go put it out there, and then we're gonna put cameras all over it.
How cool is that? An opportunity to train your deer to show up.
That would be awesome,
right?
Yeah,
it is really, really, really cool.
And I was like, man, this is the parts of the podcast I love, because I feel like you learn about things you don't know about. And then now we get a chance to actually test it. He's letting us test this thing in the field. And I think in the UP, it's going to be a beautiful thing, especially controlling the timing. Now, we did joke with them, like, what happens if a squirrel gets caught there? Just wake up, it's all full, like laying there.
Well, if you're carrying your Sig Sauer, it won't matter what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Well,
you'll be prepared.
So my question is, what about bears?
That's a great question. We're going to test that.
We better find out, because
will they be able to open it? Will they be able to break it? This
is
the video.
Hey, that's test lab for you, right?
They bust into a lot of things, and there's bears up there.
We'll ask him about that before we put it out, just to be safe, because we don't want to break it just to break it. If he says he's going to handle it,
maybe he said, well, maybe you're supposed to mount it up or something like that. I don't know.
We'll find out. It doesn't look like that to us. It's like a log on the ground. That's
okay.
Like, I mean,
because there's bears.
I love it. I love it. Well, guys, I can't thank you enough for.
Oh, we forgot to say something. Sorry. Before we end, I do want to say Travis got his first deer too. Jamie's not here to speak for his son. So Travis got not his first deer. Sorry. Travis got a great buck this year.
It was an 8-point.
It was a beautiful deer.
Sitting in my spot. And I'm just kidding. I was glad to see it. Glad to see it.
Yeah. Travis, great job, buddy. Yeah. So all the kids got a deer this year from the ownership. So that's very exciting. So I just want to throw that in there. Great job. All the kids this year. Travis, also a great job for him. He is literally coming up as a shooter. He has been shooting and aggressing in his bows. And I would assume by 23, he'll be shooting a top line bow, because right now he's shooting, I think, Amplify from Bowtech, which is a great bow, but I think he'll be moving into the actual, high end bows coming up.
It's about time we got some.
He's able to actually shoot a real bow now. So
that's awesome. Cool. That is awesome. Well, guys, I mean, I can't thank you enough for, just sticking around and doing what we do. And to you guys and to our viewers, like I'm going to end it the way that I started it. And that is just a big thank you for all of our sponsors, for all of our viewers, to you guys. I'll even throw in Jamie. We do love Jamie. We appreciate it all. It keeps us going as much as you guys like the content. It's not easy for us to always be able to dedicate the time to this, so we appreciate you guys. You guys are the ones that give us the energy to be able to do this. So thank you. And we look forward to a great 2023.